Sometimes it's good to sell an item on both Facebook Marketplace and eBay. If you're an eBayer, you should focus on eBay. That's where the money is. You need to be the master of one platform instead of sort of sell a little bit on a lot of platforms. I strongly suggest you do not cross-list much at all. However, Facebook Marketplace is sort of a special thing. It's a huge audience, believe it or not, larger than eBay's buying audience, and Facebook Marketplace gets a lot of hits. Now, we thought when Facebook Marketplace first came out, and I think eBay sort of worried about this too, that Facebook Marketplace might take over all of reselling because of their huge audience. And they started off, if you've ever used Facebook Marketplace, it's clunky. It's not a good platform to sell on. There's really no customer service. It's really pretty bad. They pretty much just leave you alone, which is good in a way. Still what we call the Wild West on selling on Facebook Marketplace. But the good thing about selling some items on both eBay and Facebook Marketplace is they're very large. If you have very large items that are going to be hard to wrap and expensive to ship, you should offer it on Facebook Marketplace because there's a lot of local buying activity depending on where you live. You might as well present such an item to a local audience that you can meet on a pickup someday. Just meet them at a local convenience store and make the sale. You don't have to wrap it. They don't have to pay shipping. Everyone's happy. Now, you can sell locally on eBay. You can have local pickup. Use that option for your shipping. And if you do, and I think every single one of your listings should have local pickup as a possible option in the shipping area. There's an option for local pickup. You should always make sure that's one of your options for shipping. Your buyer, she might live down the street from you. She might live 4 miles away. She doesn't want to pay for shipping. You're far more likely to sell it to her because she can meet you somewhere convenient. Always choose the place of meeting, and she doesn't pay shipping. You might think, well, I don't want to drive somewhere and meet someone. Well, listen, for certain items, I don't mind at all. Now, I'm fortunate that exactly 0.2 miles from me is a very popular convenience store. A large parking area, always busy, always safe to meet someone. So I have to drive 0.2 miles to meet someone. Hopefully you have a place fairly close that's also busy. It's so easy for me to hop in a car, run over there, lift my hatchback, and they just take it. Whatever it is, it can be a $2,000 huge Dresden from Germany, beautiful sculpture that would be terribly hard for me to ship because I've wrapped several for shipping before. They're extremely fragile and breakable glass porcelain items. Not my problem if I meet them due to having a local sale. Not only should you have local pickup on every eBay listing as one of your shipping options, but you should also list hard to ship items on Facebook Marketplace. Don't do shipping. Well, you could, but I suggest you only do local Facebook Marketplace for such items because the whole idea is I'd rather not ship. I'd rather save my buyer $43 of shipping if she lives 4 miles away. And you will find that large items often will sell faster on Facebook Marketplace locally, and you don't have to do a thing but drive, hopefully, no more than I do, 0.2 miles to the closest area. You can meet them at your home if you want. I wouldn't. And you just do the transfer. Now, when you get there, they have to pay you. This is the other thing. You can require payment in advance on Facebook Marketplace. You can say PayPal or Venmo or something, but just meet them. They'll usually have cash. You can even ask for cash in your messages whenever they say, I want to meet you. Say, that's great. All I need is cash. So you sell a $2,000 Dresden item, they might bring you 20 $100 bills. That's all right. I did this video maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but it still applies today. It is so good. It will show you how easy it is to take an existing eBay listing and put it on Facebook Marketplace. I'm sorry, it's a little longer than usual, but it shows you exactly how easy and simple it is at every step. And I tell you, certain options you should always check and certain options you should never check on Facebook Marketplace when you list something. If you've never listed something on Facebook Marketplace before, you're in the right place because I'm going to show you how. If you have, I'm going to show you how to get all of your pictures and everything off eBay and sell it on Facebook Marketplace. Okay, big question. What if someone buys it on both places? What if you go to bed tonight and at 3 a.m. someone on Facebook Marketplace wants it and says, I want to buy this, and at 4 a.m. someone on eBay buys it? What do? Well, you stiff the Facebook Marketplace, right? I mean, just say, sorry, I should have taken it down. It's already sold. There's no real penalty at Facebook Marketplace if you don't have something that you sell because it just sold on eBay. But you need to be conscientious. And as soon as something sells on eBay, you need to take it down off Facebook Marketplace. You really do. It's best. It saves you a lot of hassle later when 20 people happen to write you, is this still available, in your car somewhere, and you got to answer each. It's just a hassle. There is some automated software to take it down, and I do not suggest you use that stuff. Someday I'll do a video on why cross-listing software is a very bad thing for eBayers to get involved in. Very bad in my not so humble opinion. But Facebook and eBay mesh very well. Finally, before I show you how to transfer an eBay listing to Facebook Marketplace, one more thing. eBay announced that Facebook Marketplace is going to start listing items from eBay. You might someday see an eBay listing of yours with all of your pictures, but in the Facebook Marketplace format for sale on Facebook. You might. As of this time in 2025, it's a long way from much of a reality. They're doing some tests and all of that. They plan to do this. I guess Facebook said, we're never going to get around to fixing this platform, so we might as well just utilize eBay's good platform where good sellers are, where eBay makes sure that they're honest and make sure that buyers pay their bills and everything that Facebook Marketplace doesn't do. So Facebook Marketplace just agreed to start for eBay listing items for you and I. Now, they're not listing all of them, and right now they're not listing very many at all, but someday they're going to list a lot more. They still will never list all items on eBay. They just won't do that. I know they won't. You still should cross-post. If you have something heavy, hard to ship, whatever it is, you should still cross-post on Facebook Marketplace as a local sale to make your life just a lot easier when it comes to shipping this thing. And you can lower the price some. If you have a local Facebook Marketplace sale, there's no selling fee, none. If it sells, you just cancel the eBay listing. So you don't have the 15% or whatever eBay fees if it sells on Facebook Marketplace because you cross-listed it on Marketplace. This is another reason. As soon as something sells on Facebook Marketplace, take it down from eBay, because if it sells on eBay, you're going to ship the eBay one. You're going to stiff Marketplace buyer who hasn't really paid yet anyway. You're going to sell on eBay, but then you're out the seller fees, which eBay, very reasonable seller fees, even though they recently increased them. But just cancel it. Take it off eBay. As soon as you agree to meet a potential buyer on Facebook Marketplace, end it on eBay. Just end it. Don't delete the ended listing, just end it. If it doesn't work out, that you meet the person, they never show up or whatever, although, by the way, that doesn't happen as often as you hear. Most Facebook Marketplace local meetups, they work out great. Most of them work out great. They're fantastic. Don't let the what ifs keep you from making a lot of extra money by selling something on Facebook Marketplace that you're also selling on eBay. Save the seller fees if it happens to sell on Facebook Marketplace and take it down from eBay immediately. You can also ask less money for it because you're not paying eBay's fees if Marketplace sells it. Again, this is not the same as Marketplace beginning to sell items for eBay off eBay's listing. That's in control of eBay and Marketplace. If they sell something of yours, great. If they don't, they don't. But this is the way you can take a hard to list, hard to ship eBay item and sell it on Marketplace, deduct some money from the selling price to give the buyer an incentive, no shipping fee to give the buyer a huge incentive, no hard wrapping for you to make it super easy for you as a seller, and everybody's happy, Pappy. Okay, with all that preamble out of the way, here is the best video you will ever see, a tad longer than my normal, the best video you'll ever see on how to get pictures and everything off eBay and sell something on your local Facebook Marketplace. You're really going to love this. I wanted to show you how to transfer eBay listings to Facebook. You can use the same method to go to Mercari, things like that. As you know, I prefer to work on a desktop whenever I'm listing, doing anything like that. For those places like Mercari, Facebook that you want to copy and sell the same thing on both the eBay and those other platforms, let me show you one way to do it, my way to do it, which is probably the way you should do it. So here we go. I thought, well, what we'll do is I'll find a nice Starbucks tumbler. What I want to do is show you how to transfer your listings. Now, why would you want to do this? It's because you want to sell on more than one platform. I've warned you before about selling on more than one platform if you only have one of something. It's dangerous. You should not do it. The only exception might be Facebook Marketplace, and I think Mercari now has a local pickup type of situation. As long as you can limit it to a local pickup, great. I have been finding lately, even I have some slow selling merchandise on eBay, and it's low dollar stuff. I don't want to drop any more. I just want to get the stuff sold. It's been for sale for a few months, profit down to $7, $6, $8, something like that. And I just want to get it moved. I have recently been sending those to Facebook just to try it, and it just starts selling immediately. The audience differences are amazing. I've done that with faster selling merchandise that's for higher dollar. Doesn't sell as well. The few times I've tried, this is all anecdotal. You may not get the same results, but I'm telling you, you might as well, if you've got slow inventory, send it over to a completely different buying audience. People who buy and sell on Facebook don't necessarily buy and sell on eBay, and you're really getting a different audiences there. I think it's worth it for some of your slow stuff. I don't save photos. I try to take all of my photos in the morning, then list everything that day that I've taken photos of, and then I delete the photos. I could save them, but why? Most of the things I sell are one-offs. The odds of getting a second special, Solingen sleeve board folding pocket knife with a mother of pearl handle that looks just the same and has the same condition, the same scratches, is zero. Why save photos? But if you don't save photos and you want to go back through your inventory and send stuff to Facebook, you don't have the photos. But I'm going to show you how to get them off eBay. And I want to show you a couple of key things about Facebook Marketplace when I start listing something there. So I top 10 Starbucks tumbler. See this Starbucks tumbler? Find some high dollar tumbler. The one that I finally found. Finally found one at $229. We started, and this people are asking $26 to ship this thing. What is this? A 1 pound tumbler, and they're asking $26. They'll probably get it because it turns out to be not a horrible seller, not on your level, but it's not a horrible seller. I certainly would move tumbler over to here, but I would have Swarovski. About every 3 months, I forget how to say that word. I have to ask my wife. I've already forgotten, but I've sold stuff by them. If you ever see it, it's a good brand, but I've already forgotten. So I'm going to click this. What's new? We don't have condition notes. Their description, it's too wordy and everything, but it gives us some meat to play with. She only did 2 photos, but we'll go with that. I wish we'd had more, but we've only got 2. The first thing you need to do is save your photos whenever you want to copy this listing over to Facebook Marketplace. So what you do is you click to get that high-res photo to stick here. Notice if I just move my cursor around, it doesn't stick. I have to click my cursor to get the picture to stick. And then I can go right and left throughout the pictures. What you want to do is right click and choose Save Image As, but you cannot do that on these pictures. You can only right click and Save Image As whenever you have high-res it, when it's the original high-res photo. So you cannot right click your image here. You have to click, and now you right click. Don't do Open Image in New Tab, and sometimes you'll just do Save Image As. Save Image As. That's what you want to do, and we will call this S1. Boom. And what it will do is it will copy. It just tells me in Chrome that it's copied this to my computer. I have a temporary folder that I keep all this stuff. Go over and click this button and do same thing. Right click, Save Image As, S2. If we had another picture, we would right click, Save Image As, S3. If we had another picture, we would right click, Save Image As, S4. So I did that intentionally to have 4 pictures even though there are only 2 available. And you can just use your arrow keys if that's easier. Left arrow, left arrow, left arrow to go between your pictures whenever you've high-resed them. But what I've done is I have saved both photos, but really I saved them both twice so that we would have more examples in Facebook Marketplace. Once you do this, it'll take you as long as it has for me to say all this. But the third time you do this, it's instant. No big deal. Leave this and go to Facebook. Stop the tape. Stop the tape. Stop the tape. Do they even use tape anymore? You might notice a few minor changes if you do this today. Remember, this is a video that I recorded 2 or 3 years ago, and a couple of things have changed. Now, when you right-click and Save As on an eBay image, it saves it under not the JPEG format, which it did back then, but it today saves it under the WebP format, the file name extension .webp. Now, that is not a web page, even though it looks like web page, WEBP. That is a graphic image. It's not as universal as JPEG, but it still works fine. You can save that, and it will save the image under WEBP whenever you right-click on eBay and save it as S1, S2 as in this example. Then you bring those in to Facebook, and Facebook will recognize that as a valid picture file, and that will work fine. So no problem there. Also, you might have noticed a change. I started off saying Facebook Marketplace is great when you have great big heavy items that you don't want to ship, and discussing small items that aren't worth a lot of money, that aren't selling very well. Well, Marketplace is great for both. That's actually the two good reasons to put your items on Facebook that you've got on eBay. Slow selling smaller items that really aren't quite worth the buyer paying shipping for anymore, and large items that aren't quite worth you messing with wrapping and all of that, and the buyer doesn't want to pay $60 to ship. These both ends of this spectrum are good reasons to sell a lot of your eBay items also on Marketplace. You're going to get some sales there, and it will save you some speed on the slower selling items, and it will save you some time and energy on wrapping hard to wrap things. I do go a little bit into using Facebook Marketplace's shipping label here in just a few minutes. And if you use shipping on Marketplace, Marketplace charges you a seller's fee, I think 10% now. So if anything that you sell on Facebook that you have to ship, there will be a seller fee of 10%. Anything that you locally meet someone at and hand it over and sell it for cash, Marketplace does not charge you any fee. So, but for the smaller items, I would go ahead and put shipping. Maybe someone in Palm Beach, Florida wants what you have and you're in Seattle, Washington. So you might as well just offer shipping there also on a lot of the smaller items. And now let's return to our show. This tab open, the tab that shows your item that you want to sell on Facebook. You go to Facebook Marketplace, click there. You go to create a new list. What do you want to do? Item for sale, item for sale. Add photos. This is just standard routine stuff to create a Facebook Marketplace listing. There are a couple of things I want to tell you as we go. So I'm going to add photos and I'm going to add S1. I'm just going to copy them. Let's go boom, 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 boom. All right. Now I want to move. Facebook Marketplace does not have white background first. It's got to be square. But I know Google likes it. And if Google and Facebook Marketplace ever start working together, I want my first photo to be Facebook Marketplace's first photo. So you can drag and move and do all that you want to do. Now, again, this listing only has 2 photos. Yours is going to have 4, 6, 12, and all of them need to be added. The title. What do you want the title to be? Well, don't come up with anything. This is going to take too long. If you start coming up with stuff, you've already written a wonderful title, unlike this. So you're going to go here and just copy and paste your title. And we are building our Marketplace listing. You can see it over here. Price. Well, what do you price it at? Well, $229.99. Facebook Marketplace requires whole numbers, okay? Just like most, they require integers. You know what an integer is? An integer is like a reality TV show. There's no point, no decimal point. So if you're asking 229, you can ask 230 or 228. Your Facebook Marketplace fees, if the local sale is still free, so you can lower from eBay, lower your price and still make more money. So I would price this, I don't know, 207. Notice I can't do a decimal point or anything. So 207 or 209 or really 199 is probably a good price to do if you're selling it for 230 or so on eBay. Category, this will be kitchen if they're at home and kitchen, bath bedding, kitchen and dining, drinkware, coffee and teacups. I'm surprised. It's been a long time coming that Facebook Marketplace has some decent categories, but it looks like they're slowly building that. Condition, this one happens to be new. If it were not, then in the description, I would copy the first line of my condition, which this is new, it doesn't have one. I would copy my first line here, and then I would copy the rest of my description after that. So I would copy my bulleted description. I always bullet everything. I don't do this. This person acts like he or she is bulleting, but they're not. So copy your description. It'll be shorter than this, hopefully, unless it's a real collectible, something that deserves a lot of description. But in general, most things don't. And just copy your description. If there's anything you've said about shipping, you want to remove that. Not shipping, but anything about eBay. And sure enough, this person has something about eBay. So be sure and look over your description that you've copied to Facebook Marketplace and realize it's a different market. Available quantity 1 and variants. We're not doing variations. Can you believe Facebook Marketplace does variations? I'm surprised. Brand, Starbucks. Color, black. Don't get fancy. Stick with neutral colors. Don't do sky blue, just do blue. Material, I assume it's plastic. SKU, that's for you. What is your inventory? Is it shelf number 23 number 4 shelf up? Then put your SKU number here, the same SKU that's in your listing. So if this sells, you know where it is. You don't have to now go to eBay and find this item and look at the SKU before you cancel the listing. Boost a listing. Here's the one. Here's one of 2 things I really want to show you. I despise my sales being shown to my friends. I don't know why. I'm a salesperson. You'd think I'd want everybody to see my stuff. I don't. I always now
that this is available. Click this. It looks like I'm pushing it, just the way they do it. It just looks like I caused this to happen. Friend, I'm trying to sell you something. I just don't like it. It does not appear on your wall, but it appears on your friends' feeds. And it's just not something, I think it's gauche. I don't like to do it. If you do, great, please do. But I don't. So I click hide from friends. Next. Location, TASA, shipping and local pickup, or shipping only, or local pickup only. Used to, local pickup was all there was on Facebook Marketplace. I still like that, but I do shipping now. So shipping and local pickup. I like local pickup still, but many people don't, and for good reason. And it's odd because I don't really like to meet people at a certain time. It's not the way I like my life to be. Use a prepaid shipping label, meaning Facebook Marketplace will print the thing, or use your own shipping label, meaning you use Pirate Ship or PayPal or something like that. I generally do prepaid shipping label. And what is the weight? This weight's going to be, I don't know, but I'm going to weigh it very carefully. Me and someone else in our group, and I forget who, maybe Debbie, someone sold something on Facebook Marketplace, and when they boxed it and put all the padding, it was higher than they told Facebook Marketplace it would be. So if you choose it's under 5 because you weigh it, and this weighs 4 ounces, in a box it's going to weigh more than 4 ounces. And if you've said use a prepaid shipping label, the only label Facebook Marketplace is going to give you is under half a pound label for first class, and it's not going to ship your item. You're going to have problems. So weigh this thing carefully, then always include whatever the box is going to weigh and throw in some extra for dunnage, and make sure that if you use a prepaid shipping label, that means Facebook Marketplace will charge your buyer for shipping and give you a mailing label, which makes everything very easy. Then you'd better pick the right weight. Shipped. This weight is shipped, and it looks like they're going to charge $5.50 to my buyer if I were to sell this on Facebook Marketplace as opposed to eBay. They're going to have to pay not only $199 for the price. See, they're showing us the nice listing here. This is a well-built listing. This is nice. It's nice that Facebook Marketplace is getting a little better at selling things. However, I like Facebook Marketplace to do the label because it's just easier, which puts the initial burden on me to weigh this. I could do this, cover the shipping costs so buyers see free shipping. So that means if I click that, they will not charge the buyer $5.50. The buyer only pays the $199, but I have to pay for shipping. I don't do that. You shouldn't do that. Shipping costs you money. Don't give it away. I guess there are some exceptions. Not that I never do free shipping, but in general, don't give it away. Don't do that. Buyers, it's fine. If something doesn't sell very well, I guess try raising the price and giving free shipping. Never had that problem. Looks like we're going to sell it for $199, and we are going to take away $188. That is a lot more than we would take away on eBay, which is a very low fee selling platform. It's still pretty good. Still a good price. And you have a huge audience. Facebook Marketplace is seeing all this stuff. Click next. Allow offers. Well, there's no way you allow offers when you first list something. Facebook Marketplace. eBay you can, not on Marketplace. Don't do it. But if it doesn't sell for a while, allow offers. See what they do. Next, list publicly. That's all you wanted. You can list in some other places and publish. I'm not going to publish this because I don't own this thing. That is not my listing, as you know. But many listings are that I sell on Facebook Marketplace, and I click publish, and so will you now. And that's how you transfer all of your photos and your title and your description, with a few extra little things about, if you're like me, you want to hide your listings, your sales from friends, the things you're selling from your Facebook friends and family, and some things about shipping, some things about local, and all of that. But this gives you great coverage. The moment this thing sells on Facebook Marketplace, I drop it off eBay. If I sell it on eBay, I delete this baby on Facebook Marketplace just the moment I can. And there you have it. I hope you find this useful. You are getting a brand new audience when you have Facebook Marketplace for some of your eBay items. I would never suggest you waste your time on Facebook Marketplace unless you have local stuff. If you have something that's not going to sell for a lot of money, but it's heavy, and it might be in demand, but it's heavy, and it's worth $25, but shipping's $20, no one's going to buy that on eBay. But Facebook Marketplace, someone's going to meet you somewhere, and you take this heavy item, and they'll take it for $25, and they don't have to pay shipping that way. And you don't have to ship it that way. Isn't it nice not to have to shift huge items for very little money? A $25 item, huge item. There are some things you will sell only on Facebook Marketplace, not on eBay. But for most things, eBay's still king.